Hey guys, it's your boy M.K.S here, back to another video. Hope everyone's doing well wherever you are, and some people out there will enjoy this video, especially fans of Italian football or soccer or Calcio or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, as it's the 13th today, or A13th, I know it's a Tuesday, not a Friday, but I thought I'd talk about some of my selfish goals or dreams, rather than just the charitable stuff that I normally talk about. I know there's probably no purely altruistic motive or thing out there, but anyway, I hope that Italian fans will enjoy this, and I will encourage somehow perhaps people to support Italian football, and maybe change the image of Italian football or things like that. So anyway, here goes. I'll say I hope everyone's well wherever you are, keeping safe and all that sort of stuff. So number one, I would love to see Italian football teams having the best possible investment into Italian football, like owners and people like that investing in Italian football teams or buying Italian football teams or things like that, and like just generally putting as much money into Italian football as possible, like in football stadiums and infrastructure, youth academies especially, for the future, and also even buying players and helping Italian clubs to compete with like Premiership clubs, Premier League clubs, like Man City or teams like that, or Chelsea or whoever else. Number two, I would love to see as much sponsorship as possible into Italian football, and like Italian politicians and the government itself and people across Italy, like encouraging people to sponsor Italian football teams and Italian clubs, and even like leagues and things like that in the future. Maybe companies like Red Bull making their own football teams and their own leagues and things like that. So as well as football academies and stadiums and that sort of thing, and like giving Italian children like places to play football, spaces to play football and things like that, through things like spaces for sport and places to play football and things like that, especially, or solely even, from my point of view. And also like encourage as much sponsorship as possible of like football stadiums, academies, footballs, opportunities and chances for Italian children especially to play. So hopefully in the future they'll become better players. Number three, I love Italian teams to have like football academies all over the world, and at least like half of their members to be Italians themselves. But have football academies in Asia and Africa and all over Asia and Africa and places like that, even Latin America and other parts of Europe as well, and all around the world basically. And like hopefully that would have a mutual benefit, but also it would mean Italian kids get to practice with people from across Asia, and again all over the world, like given that Asia has over half the world's population, and also hopefully that will encourage people across Asia especially and around the world to support Italian teams, and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'd love to see Italian teams also possibly learn from the Premiership, from the English Premiership, about like how to market the game overseas around the world, so like to get as many supporters as possible, and hopefully again that would encourage people to come and buy out or invest in Italian football generally. Number four, even encouraging like Italian local businesses or people from the diaspora to become heroes of Italian football, class them as heroes if they invest in opportunities for young Italians to get into football, and again sponsor Italian clubs like youth development, so in the future teams can have better players and also like make money from selling those players on, or save money from having to buy players, but also maybe some money to buy some of the best players around the world as well from overseas, as well as developing local Italian teams. Like I love Juventus, for instance, because Juventus means youth in Latin, to have like the best youth system around the world. And I'd love for Italian clubs to have like in the future, maybe when people can travel, to have like football stadiums, football academies, as I say, but also opportunities where they can go to parts of America and Canada, all over the world, all over Asia especially, and practice as much as possible again with local people as well as with each other, and help Italians to be as united as possible through football, all being well. Number five, again, I'd love to see Italian teams learning about how the English Premier League markets itself overseas, and like encourages people to buy and invest in and support English teams. So I love Italian teams to do the same with Italian teams, and also like learn from countries like Spain about how they developed young players, and even countries like Holland and Germany, learning what they've done to invest in young players and make their league stronger as well. So what they can learn from all the top leagues like the English Premier League, the Bundesliga in Germany, Spanish League, La Liga, even the French League, perhaps even the Portuguese League, and the Dutch League, and Argentinian and Brazilian and all around the world as well. Like learn from those leagues about some of the mistakes to avoid, but also some of the things that Italian team could do to get to improve again marketing value and things like that. Number 6, I love for Italians to practice again as much as possible, like to get free footballs, free training equipment, free football boots, shin pads, and all sorts of things that help them to practice and play football as much as possible, from the poorest to the richest citizens. So they practice football as much as possible and prioritize football. And the government encourages football to be played in schools and like parks, and parents to encourage their kids and do exercises to help their kids, and like share exercises they can do even during quarantine and things like that. Number 7, I love Italian teams to have and the Italian FA to have like a partnership excuse me, with Celtic in Scotland, so that like they train together, support each other's clubs, and like buy each other's merchandise and things like that, and just generally encourage each other and support each other, and especially at youth level, like practicing together and hopefully developing the game. Number 8, I'd love to see, as I say, towns be more united and fall in love with football again, like generally, especially their own local teams, but also like wanting to see each other do well in Europe, like Juventus fans wanting to see Inter do well in Europe, even though they're rivals domestically, because that would be better to be part of a bigger league, and obviously vice versa. So they would root for each other when they're playing non-Italian teams, as I mentioned before. But yeah, so I'd also love to cut out like hate or prejudice in Italy, like encourage like good values through practicing football together, and talking about or discussing good values that young Italians can learn through football, like not hating each other, but yeah, spread the love and that sort of thing. So to fall in love with football generally, especially for a local team, and especially Italian teams, and especially the national team, and like practicing as much as possible to get better for like things like the World Cup or European Cup, and again like local teams as well in club competitions is the word I'm looking for. Number 9, yeah, I'd love to see Italians like prioritize football, and again like politicians, the government, and even rival politicians coming together and having like committees or think tanks, even the councils, talking about how they can invest in opportunities for younger people to play football, which hopefully will benefit the club teams especially, and also the national team I suppose as well, maybe even more. And number 10, again, I'd love to see young players playing football as much as possible, and like the Italian government offering tax incentives and other such incentives, like investment opportunities to encourage people to invest in Italian football, and like to also sponsor Italian football themselves, or like put money into Italian football. I mean, so especially youth development. So yeah, maybe like 10% of the budget could go towards excuse me, developing younger players and things like that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please let me know what you think, or what ideas you think could improve the Italian league and its successes in Europe, or like branding and things like that, marketing, branding and things like that, so they can make more money, which they could use to invest in buying players, I say, and training younger players and that sort of thing. So I'm out. Peace and love.